Cool. So we're in Genesis 32.
Yes. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's host." And he called the name of the place Mahanaim. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother, unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, "Thus shall ye speak unto my lord Esau. Thy servant Jacob saith thus, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now. And I have oxen and asses, flocks and men servants and women servants. And I have sent to tell my Lord that I may find grace in thy sight." And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We came to thy brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him." And Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks and herds and camels in 2 bands, and said, "If Esau come to the one company and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape." And Jacob said, "O my God, O my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord which saidst unto me, return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which thou hast showed unto thy servant. For with my staff I have passed over this Jordan, and now I am become 2 bands. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children. And thou saidst, I will surely do thee good, and make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude." And he lodged there that same night, and took off that which came to his hand, a present for Esau his brother, 200 she goats, and 20 he goats, 200 ewes, and 20 rams, 30 milch camels and their colts, 49 and 10 bulls, 20 she asses, and 10 fowls. And he delivered them into the hand of his servants. Every drove by themselves, and said unto his servants, "Pass over before me, and put a space between drove and drove." And he commanded the foremost, saying, "When Esau my brother meeteth thee, and asketh thee, saying, Whose art thou? And whither goest thou? And whose are these before thee? Then thou shalt say, They be thy servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my lord Esau. And behold, also he is behind us." And so commanded he the second and the third, and all that followed the drove, saying, "On this manner shall ye speak unto Esau when you find him. And say ye moreover, Behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him with the present that goeth before me, and afterward I will see his face. Peradventure he will accept of me." So went the present over before him, and himself lodged that night in the company. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford Jacob. And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over that he had. Okay, so what's happening so far, just for context? Jacob's what, afraid?
Yeah, it looks like it. Like he's like passing them over. Like go over there for the
Like
time.
Esau's gonna come and kill us.
Yeah,
So let's separate everybody. So yeah, give him a whole bunch of gifts and maybe he'll show mercy on us.
right.
Okay, you want to read the last half of it?
Yeah, so we have here 24.
Yeah.
And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. And he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it thou that dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over the Peniel, the sun rose up again upon him. The sun rose upon him. Sorry, I lost my place for him. And as he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he hath upon his thigh. Therefore, the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrunk. Hmm.
So Jacob gets a new name.
Yeah, Israel.
He had a little bit of strength. He
And then,
wrestled with well, it says here God.
yeah,
So what? The angel of the Lord.
yeah.
And he refused to let go.
And the daybreak that cometh, right? The
He had a little
daybreak
bit of, so here we are Saturday night.
Sabbath.
Just with a little bit of strength, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mess
Right.
it up. Just hold on, I mean, that's my thoughts. What's Revelation say about a new name?
That's the white stone. It's the white stone. Praise God for that one. Mm-hmm.
So is this a parallel?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's even like, right now, trying to like let the church know that they are Israel, because they want to claim themselves to be Israel.
Yeah, so this is just one of my go-to chapters when I need a little strength.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's a very
and
good.
what I was mentioning to you too earlier, there's a thing with oaths, right?
Mm-hmm.
With touching the thigh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Where was
that.
that? Do you remember where that was?
Touch
Briefly.
thigh. I pulled it up here. I'm gonna have to like pull up the thing. Bear with me. 32, Gen 32, 31. So that's Hebrew word 3409, yarek, from the unused root meaning to be soft, the thigh from its fleshly softness, by euphemism the generative parts, figuratively a shank, flank, side, X body, loins, shaft,
Loin.
yep, and then thigh. So yeah, it's you can even, then you have your gird up your loins, gird up thy loins. So
Amen.
amen.
What about a section on that one thing that we looked up where it named off some scriptures where Abraham made an oath, or his servant made an oath to him?
Oh yeah,
Just the highlights of it, because it was a really long article, but
right. So let me pull these up here. So let's see. Taking an oath usually involves raising a hand or placing a hand over someone's heart or on the Bible and such. But in the Hebrew culture, they find something a little different. Genesis 24:9 describes the practice of Abraham and his servant swearing to obey an oath to his master to find a wife for Isaac. So the servant puts his hand under the thigh of Abraham, his master, and swore to him concerning this matter in Genesis 47:29, Jacob makes his son Joseph swear to bury him in Canaan and not Egypt. The same ritual is observed. Joseph is required to put his hand under Jacob's thigh as he makes the promise. Um, we see it again here. We'll read this portion here. In both cases, the request is made by a patriarch nearing death. Also, both oaths dealing with family matters. In the case of Abraham and Jacob, the family was blessed by God himself. Then that's pertaining to Genesis 15:5 and 28:14. Um, the thigh was considered the source of posterity in the ancient world. More properly, the loins or the testicles. The phrase under the thigh could be a euphemism for loins. Um, let's see here. So, like, two good reasons why it would be in this manner is Abraham had been promised a seed by God, and this covenantal blessing was passed on to his sons and grandsons. Abraham made his trusted servant swear on the seed of Abraham that he would find a wife for Isaac. Abraham had received the circumcision as a sign of covenant in Genesis 17:10. Our custom is to swear on the Bible. The Hebrew custom is to swear on circumcision, the mark of God's covenant. The idea of swearing on one's loins is found in other cultures as well. The English word testify is directly related to the word testicles. So Jewish tradition, let's see here. No, excuse me. I think that's pretty much there's only two more here left here. Abraham's servant kept the oath and not only obeyed Abraham's instruction, but he also prayed to Abraham's God for help. In the end, God miraculously provided Rebekah as a choice for Isaac's wife, and that's in Genesis 24. And in the New Testament, it's considered let your yes be yes and your no be no, because you should consider all your words to have the weight of an oath. Let's see here. Also, like, what's really amazing too is just this. I think it. I think I might overlooked it here, but it's an act of submission too. To authority that's reigned above you. Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay, so just one more time before we end this here.
yeah.
And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast the power with God and with man, and hast prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, my name. And he said, wherefore wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of that place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over Pulal, the sun rose up upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore, the children of Israel eat not the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank. Amen, eh?
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing.
So we could probably end the recording now.
Yep.